Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I opened X today and I saw this video. I haven't watched it all the way through, but it was the first thing I saw on X, and then I saw another one, and then I saw another one. So I think this might go a little bit viral, I'm not sure. I want to cover it anyway. It's from the BBC, the most transparent, honest, trustworthy source of news in the United Kingdom and worldwide. You should always trust the BBC right up until they lie to your face, and then you still trust them. Just still trust them. They only did it one time, apart from all those other times. Anyway, a local lady from Epping told the BBC that they're not all asylum seekers. Oh, they're not all anti-asylum seekers. I was confused there. They lived alongside them with no trouble in Epping for 5 years. How lucky for you. You're lucky, aren't you? Well done for you. She says that it reminds me of these people, like these boomers in the countryside that are like, no, immigration is perfectly fine. I have no problem with it. I've never encountered one problem with an immigrant. I live in a 99.9% white area. You're all racists. Anyway, so she says that she feels more scared with the violent protesters on the streets. Well, that's framing, isn't it? You could just say protesters. You don't need to say violent. That's framing. Anyway, let's move on.
We were all, I think a few of us separately were feeling really unheard and unrepresented by...
Very nice posh accent there, wasn't it? Oh, well, we were all feeling very unrepresented, and we didn't quite feel as though our opinion was coming across.
Our local leaders, including our councillors and including our local MP. And it seemed that nobody was speaking out loud about how we felt. The fact that we weren't all anti-migrants, we weren't all anti the Bell Hotel. We had lived alongside asylum seekers in our community on and off for over 5 years with...
Well, that's wonderful for you. Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, well, I can break this down into an analogy. I would describe her as a sheep. A sheep that is living amongst wolves but has never been attacked by the wolves. Maybe because the wolves are fed already and she keeps walking past them, and each time she walks past them unabsconded, if that's the word. Anyway, so just because she's never been attacked by the wolves, she thinks all wolves are sheep. Until the wolves start attacking her and she goes, my throat, why are you trying to eat me, wolves? You've been so nice this whole... But anyway, we'll get to that in a sec.
No trouble. And there was an incident, as everybody's probably aware, somebody was found, it was a sexual assault.
What was the incident? Are you going to tell us, or are you just going to gloss over that? All right, guys, look, a little bit of context before we move ahead, because this woman isn't going to give any before she goes off in a rant and tells you you're all terrible people for noticing the truth. The young girl that was actually assaulted later came out and said that she felt betrayed and upset and terrified of the fact that the police let the migrant go accidentally back into the local area. But you're all terrible people.
Asylum seeker committed a sexual assault. He was tried through the courts.
What was it?
He was imprisoned. We have never felt scared or frightened of living in Epping. It's a brilliant place to live. We love it.
Right. Epping is probably a very nice place to live, but that's not the contentious issue here. The contentious issue is that there's migrants living there in hotels paid for by the taxpayer, and those migrants have went out and raped a young girl. That's a big deal. And the people living in Epping, the people that are not like you, probably the people with a slightly larger amygdala so they can recognise danger a little bit better than you, they're concerned for their own children. I'm guessing this woman either doesn't have children or they're grown and have left home, okay? But I'm just saying, these people, I don't think, should be representative of a local community. Yes, they might not have had their voices heard, but they're in the minority. And I think the people that are really concerned about their children and about the schools and the safety of other children, they should probably be the ones that should be listened to, not the lone star female queefing off, saying that everyone else is a bad person for recognising danger.
The time when we started to feel scared was when we saw violent protests on our street.
And I would just like to say, the reason that I believe the protests got violent is because they weren't being listened to. The council said they wouldn't remove the migrants, and well, what's the only alternative form of action that you can take as a resident in that area if no one listens to you? And I just want to say further, after they became violent and it became national news and then international news, they did move the migrants. So it seems like violence works. I'm just saying that, UK government. It seems like you're pushing for people to be violent.
We hear a lot about peaceful protests. I can tell you, as somebody who lived here and has lived through it, they have not been peaceful protests. We have seen protesters setting off flares, canisters, attacking police vans, shouting the vilest, misogynistic, sexist rants at policewomen.
That's your big issue? Because they're being misogynistic? Screw all women! There's a migrant who rapes a young girl, and then you think the protesters are going out going, yeah, let's blame the women. Women, you carpet munching bags, get away from me. No, I don't think so. I think that was a lie.
We have had asylum seekers being attacked. We've had a whole load of disinformation running rife in Epping. I mean, I've heard the most...
Can you please give some examples of the migrants being attacked? Can you please give some examples of the misinformation? Because you can't just say random shit and expect people to believe you. Yes, people will believe you. That's why this video is gaining traction, because people will just believe what you're saying without doing any evidence, without doing any research, without needing any evidence, and they'll just go, oh wow, the protesters are misogynistic? Wow, that makes so much sense. Yeah, a young girl gets raped and then the protesters come out and start being misogynistic towards female police officers. That was their goal all along, wasn't it? Oh my God, it was just misogyny.
Ridiculous things. We even had an incident a few weeks ago of a homeless man, a well-known homeless man, seeking food out of bins in a school playground. Suddenly, before you know it, everywhere on social media is telling us that a school...
Right, what does that say about the UK, guys? If in Epping they have a well-known homeless man that no one helps, they've never helped him. How long's he been homeless? Like years? You've just walked past that homeless man for fucking years and you didn't even help him? And the only time she brings him up is when he goes next to a school. I'm like, what was he doing next to the school? Why is he going through the school's bins? That's kind of weird. I would also be like, dude, get away from the school.
School is under attack by an asylum seeker. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
So just tell me what you would say to people. We have had people on this programme recently who don't...
This is propaganda bullshit by the BBC. This is absolute dog whistle bullshit. This is leftist dog whistle.
I agree with what you're saying. They are scared about having these asylum hotels in their areas. What do you say to those people?
I'm not surprised they're scared, because the amount of rhetoric and hatred that's been stirred up online.
Murders, random stabbings, sexual assaults, beatings. Just the list goes on. It's not just, oh, there was one this one time. It happens every single day now. What you talking about, woman? Just because she was lucky enough to have it never affect her. It's like these... It's just like these people that live in their posh areas. They live in 98% white areas, and they think just because it hasn't affected me, the country's fine.
Line and by our political leaders is designed specifically to scare them. You know, political parties have sensed a real opportunity here. We've had a reform office for the first time open on Epping High Street. I mean, they can sense an opportunity, can't they? I'm not surprised people are scared. And if I
don't get this kind of... I don't get this logic train. She's blaming the people that are reacting to violence committed by immigrants as the cause of the dysfunction in her society, while disregarding the actual cause, which is violence and sexual assaults against the native people in that community. She is victim blaming, while also denigrating the people that are setting out to try and solve the problem. She's offering no solutions other than shut the fuck up for the sake of diversity.
Believed, I've got two daughters, If I really believed they were under threat from asylum seekers, I would be scared too.
Well, you're a bad mother because they are.
But what I can tell you is there are people in our group, for example, who have children who are mixed race. They have always felt safe in Epping. Ever since the protest started and the flags appeared and the road markings are being graffitied with red crosses.
I mean, that says more about you than it does about me. Bringing up mixed race parents, why would you do that anyway? I thought everyone's equal. I thought everyone's the same. The left always claims not to be racist, but they use race whenever it's convenient for them.
Some of them have not felt that their children are safe to walk home from school.
Okay,
That's
let me.
the
I'm going to.
impact.
I want to just put that to.
So it's fear mongering. This is mental, guys. She's offered no solutions there. All she's saying in that entire 2-minute, 49-second clip is shut up. Stop talking about it. Don't do anything about it. Just let the problem stay there. And if stuff happens, well, it just happens, okay? But they're not all bad people. It's just a few of them will rape your kids. All right, let's have a quick look at the kind of people that are representing her and getting behind her and saying that, yeah, actually there is no problem at all. In fact, you guys, you're the problem. Jessica Seymour QC, a public regulatory energy, climate, environmental, tax law visiting professor, fellow, blah, 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 from Goldsmiths Law, a Jewish KC. Whoever this woman is, we need to hear more from her. People are being manipulated. It's got to be exposed. It's got to be exposed, guys. You're being manipulated. It might be happening. Yeah, I mean, it might be happening. But the problem is that you're reacting to it. Yaki Moon says it's worth reminding ourselves that all of the Epping protests are just about one single man who got arrested for his crime. It's just one guy, guys. It's just one person. You know, that's fine. If it just happens once, it's fine. All you have to do is forget about it and then hope it doesn't happen again. Well, we're seeing around the country that it happens every single day, but in Epping it only happened once, so just shut up again for the sake of diversity. On the other side of the argument, a little bit strong, but John Men comes out and says, another thick, dangerous, middle-class white woman thinking she's the most virtuous, wonderful human being by saying she prefers dangerous, illegal, backward Islamist inbreds to her fellow white indigenous citizens. Women like her should be assigned an Islamist husband for at least 6 months. Naeem says, wonderful English sounding name there, he says that I lived in Epping, Loughton, for 18 years and my sister is still living in Epping, and I totally agree with this honourable lady that the asylum issue has been created by the local politicians and some fascists of the Reform Party. I'm sure they were the ones that did the sexual assaults as well, right? It's all propaganda, guys. It's just propaganda to wind you up and create tension in the area. That's all it is. Forget what the girl says. Forget what the father says. The actual victims. No. It's all just propaganda created by fascists. And Barry O'Dowd, with a Palestinian flag in the background, says that she is brilliant. Yeah, sure she is. All she did was come out and blame the victims and offer no solutions and told you to shut up, again, for the sake of diversity and to stop being manipulated by the fascists into perceiving a threat that sexually assaulted a young girl. Again, the victims are ignored here. The people that are blamed are the people reacting to the problem. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this normal? Should we allow these people to have a voice? Should we be listening to these, what seem like fucking psychos, right, that come out and blame the victims, blame the people that try to solve the problem, and then blame the entire country for being racist when they don't want their children to be absconded, to be sexually assaulted, or to be harassed on their way to school, in the streets, or walking their dog. See you later.